The sizzling sausage, studs on cement, sport in the crisp wintry air. When the drawbridge goes up, see the absolute state of it. You're with Pez and Higgos, it's the circus.
Yes, can you hear it? That unmistakable sound of narrative taking shape, of agendas being set. I sure can. We're back for another week of the circus, and let's face it, it's been a big week for filth. Waitley and establishment media are filthy. Gorringe and New Age media are laughing, but filthy. Zac Lomax is off to rugby, and isn't Jimmy Graham filthy? Madge is going too hard again. Gordy's filthy. Piastri crashes out before the race starts, and 145,000 people at Albert Park are, you guessed it, absolutely filthy. And if people run on the field this weekend for Alex Johnson's impending record-breaking try-scoring spree, Wayne Bennett is preemptively filthy. We sit down with Craig Foster to talk football. Boys Actually delivers again. I'm Sam Perry. Co-hosting with me this week in Papa Higgins' absence is consigliere and great friend of the circus, Tim Huey Hewitt. Huey, welcome back.
Thank you, Pez. Pleasure to be here. Congratulations, Higgos. What an honour.
Let's get the that stuff out of the way first, obviously.
Yes. Congratulations. Beautiful stuff. And you were trying to sort of make love to the camera down the barrel like Higgos does there in the intro, and doing it just as well, mate. Fantastic stuff. Oh shit! Sorry, it came out swinging. I didn't mean it. I was trying to fire you up, mate. No, it's a pleasure to be here. It's nice to be off the guest lounge, lounge, and in one of the big boy seats, in one of the executive chairs.
And you've got Melbourne International Comedy Festival coming up as well, don't you? In 2 weeks' time. So you're underslept and like a little bit anxious and all that kind of stuff.
And obviously that, and I've been having, the MCA D-grade cricket semi-finals. Thankfully, we've been knocked out, so I can focus now on the winter codes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You got a footy show, don't you, as well? This
coming up in
the comedy festival.
Yes.
That is red hot, that footy show, I have to say.
Look, a lot of filthy chat in that. Let me tell you.
Good. Well, if you live in Melbourne, I mean, because you're not a Melbourne native either,
no,
but you do learn to become irate and filthy at a lot of developments and drama within football codes.
Yeah, you've got to keep the rage going.
Yeah, exactly.
You simply must.
Speaking of keeping the rage going, I just want to note that this week on the circus, which coincided with the season finale of the Grade Cricketer podcast, I don't know what that is, but there were far more contributions to what's getting you hot for the footy than there was the cricket, which I think is it's revealing about the state of the nation and their care. Let's hear what the punters have to say, Chuck.
So what if Pornhub's banned? I'll just rewatch the Doggies beat the two-time reigning premiers.
Boys, what's getting me hot is hearing Blocker Roach mispronouncing last names once again. For the fifth time, Blocker, it's Nwanga.
Yes.
God, I love footy.
Hey boys, just want your help with something. I was going to start Zach Butters in Supercoach this year just because of Port's soft early run to start the year. But with Hugh McCluggage going down in round 0, I'm thinking maybe Will Ashcroft might be the play.
Yeah.
He might just see, a few more CBAs. That'll boost his scoring a little bit. And then I can use the money saved there to upgrade Josh Dacos to hopefully someone like a Jack Sinclair. And then hopefully I'll be able to talk to a woman.
No.
What's getting me hot is having to lie to my wife and tell her that I was out having an affair rather than admit the truth that I was actually participating in a fantasy draft.
Yeah, g'day boys. Just me again with your weekly reminder that at the start of the 2025 season, the Canberra Raiders were favourites for the Wooden Spoon before taking out the minor premiership. Obviously in the finals we did look like a Wooden Spoon team, but we've now got a halfback who can kick field goals. So league, watch out. The boys are on. Up the milk.
Okay.
I tell you what's getting me hot, lads. The return of the 3 Ps. Palestine, Pierce, Premierships.
Palestine return.
12 goals in a quarter. Charlie Curnow. Errol's left wand. Where are my flights to Melbourne in the last weekend of September?
Boys, what's getting me hot is the fucking officiating in Super Rugby. I'm not talking about the Brumbies losing to the Reds. That was fucking hilarious. I'm talking about the mighty Western Force getting denied, robbed the last play of the game against the Highlanders in New Zealand. Then O'Queef fucking us again. What the fuck is going on here? Also, not really very excited about Zac Lomax signing. Fuck that.
It took the Roman Empire 3 campaigns to conquer Britain. It took the Italian football team 9 games to beat England. But after 33 games, the Italian rugby team has finally recorded their first win over England. 23-18, fuck off, viva l'Azzurri.
It's your fucking cricket off my fucking football podcast.
And that's the temperature of the nation, Huey.
Fantastic. What's getting me hot?
Yeah.
Pipeline there.
Always concerning when you get that one contributor who just deepens the voice a little, they're hiding people in a closet. But anyway.
Yeah, I like the on the move ones.
just on the road.
It's obviously
I've
I've got a lot on. I've got a conversation about rugby union I want to get in, but I better do that on the commute,
It's just entered my head, but a lot of people got in touch this week upon the SEN boys at Fireball Friday commencing their own speak pipe situation. I just want to make...
It's hard to compete with names like Fireball Friday.
It's a hell of a name. I've been on the show before, and it's hard not to start by going like, it's great to be on Fireball Friday, so fair play to them. But also, I don't think the circus or TGC, owns the IP to speak pipe. I mean, it's for everybody.
No.
Nor do they own the IP to just talk back from questionable people.
Yeah.
So I think it's play on.
Yeah, it would be awesome if you could sort of claim talkback radio.
Oh, that's our thing.
Voicemail talkback.
That's just the name of the company, Speak Pipe. So I say play on.
Yeah, no, some fantastic insights there.
Yeah, great. I love your enthusiasm. We went to air last week, mere minutes before the sad news of Dennis Cometti passing away. So just to note our own sadness of that news, but also just a shout out to the greatest to do it. I think that's almost universally, it's a bit of a contradiction, almost universally acknowledged, but just the greatest to do it, the greatest sports commentator to do it. I just want to throw to the one that I think united us all. I know he's footy native and he could do other sports, but the one that united us all, Chucky.
Thorpe on terms with Hall. They've got about 15 metres to swim. Thorpe is over Hall again. Hall and Thorpe. Thorpe's in front. Thorpe and Hall. Thorpe goes in. Australia win.
Yeah, that is so hot. That's still hot. It still shivers down the spine. But yeah, it just goes to show as well, like the people who can narrate games at that highest level do connect with us in a way that we adore.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's fantastic, incredible. Obviously, I didn't grow up listening to a lot of AFL in his prime, but yeah, incredible things like that transcend whatever code and all that sort of thing.
It has given rise to small occasions where Dennis Cometti was commentating on the cricket. Nice. I've seen on Facebook, etc., which is where I live.
Yeah.
And there's footage of him commentating a New South Wales, South Australia, and I'm sorry to put cricket on this football podcast. New South Wales, South Australia game, which I think Mark Waugh and Michael Clark are batting, and they're facing Mark Higgs. And I can't even listen to Dennis Cometti with respect to the great man because there's just too many faces and names and shapes that are competing for my attention.
It's a smorgasbord.
That's right, at the Olympic Stadium as well.
Yeah.
Wow. With that tribute, violate Dennis Cometti, the best to do it. Let's talk league. Let's talk league. Let's kick off with. I mean, you're a league native.
I'm a league man. I'm a Bronx man, and
we're going to talk league thanks to Kayo. A couple of scores over the weekend. Canberra 29, Manly 28, Bunnies 40, Dolphins 30. Sharks put 50 on the Titans. Warriors too good at home for the ill-disciplined Roosters. Melbourne 52, Para 4. But let's start at Red Hill, Huey, where the Broncos went down 26-0 to the Panthers.
God, they looked good. They looked really good.
Well, you're a Broncos man, right? Let's get your bona fides out here.
Yeah.
It's a shutout, and there's been suggestions for several weeks, you could argue several years, that there's trouble at Red Hill under Madge Maguire's stewardship. Now, harder to argue it last year given they won the competition.
Yeah.
The National Rugby League competition was taken out by the Brisbane Broncos, so it wasn't
disaster zones.
It was more difficult to argue that Madge was a hard coach, though efforts were made. But this year they've not won the World Club Challenge or whatever it's called now. They've lost to Penrith. They've lost to Penrith 26-0. Yeah. I'm seeing lots of pictures of Madge in a bucket hat looking stern at training. Gordon Tallis is lifting the lid on a few issues that players have in relation to families. Obviously, Payne Haas has left, denied that there's an issue with him and Madge Maguire. I mean, how big a crisis is there at Red Hill right now with the Broncos 0-1 in a 26-round season?
Well,
it's 26 rounds. Fuck. Yeah.
Kent Brockman style, is it time to crack open their skulls and feast on the goo inside sort of stuff, really? Look, it's the Broncos, though. I would say Madge has sort of got the same issues as McDonald in the Australian cricket team, where Kevy's got a lot of mates in that old media system, and they're very upset and very passionate. Yeah. Nothing brings out passion like ex-Broncos players.
Yeah,
and nothing makes them more upset than maybe like veterans and legends not having a say, whatever that means in the club. They just don't get around to have a beer or. But I think that look, I'm no expert. I need to get more fired up in the difficult second album issues that Madge seems to have at clubs. I would say maybe give him more than one round after a premiership.
When do we call it a crisis?
Yeah, well, round 2.
Yeah,
two losses for the Broncos, and then you are head on the chopping block, mate.
So your insight into this, as people sit down most nights to watch NRL 360 or the new Channel 7 Agenda Setters show, or anything on Triple M or whatever, your message to consumers of these shows are that a lot of this is being driven by the fact that people are just friends with Kevin Walters.
Well, I don't want to go too far. No, but I mean, everyone's got to have a hot take on Madge and the Bronx because they're just so big. You need, R.I. Valet, Buzz. In protest, I have not watched NRL 360 this year.
Thank you.
Because I'm like, where is he?
Yeah.
But Buzz, he had a good. He was always fired up to get in on the Bronx drama.
Okay.
No, I'm telling you, I'm serious, mate. They do not like him there. They do not like him. Madge, he's lost the players, mate, I swear. No, honestly, his style does not work with the Gen Zers. It does not work. So anyway, that's I just make my own little NRL 360s in my mind palace each day because I miss Buzz so much. So I go, I don't need to know what Braith and all that is talking about. In real time, I just sort of
do your own
thing. I do my own little thing. Yeah. I've recreated. I'm very against AI, but I have recreated an entire Buzz Rothfield in the ether that I just have one-on-one chats to. He's my AI assistant.
I see.
Look, round 1. It was a bad round all round. I will say for every Queensland team, it was tough watching.
Is that how you consume the game as well? I mean, you're as a proud Queenslander, you're a Broncos fan first and then you hope the other Queensland teams get up? It's very provincial, isn't it?
A little bit. Yeah, I have to admit. It's a pretty, child's way to do it, I guess. But that's okay. I'll end up watching most rounds and, most games every round. So I'm like, well, if I'm going to cheer for someone, it's got to be the beleaguered Titans over, a New South Wales team, obviously.
So, given that they're still ripping into Madge despite him literally delivering the competition that they all sought for so long, how many competitions would Madge need to win with the Broncos before that criticism dissipates? And I want to use the analogy of the Australian cricket team because I don't really think the criticism has ever dissipated.
Yeah, well, that's a difficult question. I guess if you knock over the Panthers 5 in a row. If they go 5 in a row, they'd still be like, is it that good of a dynasty?
Yeah, it's Buzz again.
Yeah, Buzz. Sorry, that he just took over me like a Manchurian candidate just then. You just say dynasty. Look, I'm sure he'll be able to deal with it.
Do you find when clubs have problems, and this is not as big a culture of this in rugby league as there is in Aussie rules, but we start to refer to the suburb that their training ground is located in. So you only speak about Red Hill when it comes to the Broncos if they're in trouble. But whereas in Aussie rules, it's like there's Windy Hill, there's Arden Street, there's Whitten Oval, I suppose more the Oval, but I don't really feel like there's as much of that in rugby league.
Yeah, it should be more of it. Red Hill just does hit the spot though.
Yeah.
Sounds good on the tongue.
It's like a way of saying like I know where they train and it's in a suburb separate to where they're from. There's a lot going on with it and it's very important. Just to note how Code Sports has been reporting on it, this is Tyson Jackson. The headline, which he wouldn't write, is Broncos football has hit its glass ceiling and their NRL rivals are going for the knockout. The Broncos this is not the headline, that would be very long. The Broncos rope-a-dope their way to a premiership in 2025, masquerading as a disciplined unit. In reality, their title run was a replica of a Rocky Balboa script and they'll be KO'd unless they change. It's round one.
Yeah. I mean, as incredibly well written as that is, I do sort of get the sentiment. I sort of agree. It was a pretty hilarious finals run we had. That not a lot of it reeked of this is a stable dynasty that's going to last a decade.
I love it. So
it was like, please just get us this one. And Walsh caught fire, and you probably can't play like that 20 rounds straight. But you know, it's early days, as they say.
I like it. All right, before we get on to Zac Lomax, well, no, let's go to Zac Lomax. I want to start with the boys actually that came in 6 days ago from Harry O. Hi lads, loving the early yardage on the circus. Just a quick correction regarding the outcome of the Zac Lomax court case. This won't be quick and this will be inappropriate. Lomax will be able to return to the NRL before 2028 provided the Parramatta Eels give their consent. In many ways, Lomax is like a soy boy cuck child who needs the permission of mummy and daddy, brackets the Eels, to go to the school excursion to the zoo, brackets playing the NRL. Alternatively, the Eels could be viewed as the cucks. They're just waiting for the right person to come along and fuck their wife. The Eels could elect to give Lomax to a team less likely to frame mog them and make them less emasculated as they watch the new partner, brackets NRL team, Lomax. Cheers, lads. Beers soon. Now, a couple of days after that, Zac Lomax announced his move to rugby union. So well done the boys actually there. But he has signed for the Western Force.
Yes.
As we saw from the boys, from the speak pipes there, from the What's Getting Your Hots. I don't know how Perth's reacted to this news, but
it'll be huge.
As Lomax sat there next to Rugby Australia's CEO Phil Waugh, they were very keen to ensure that it was in Western Force gear only. Lomax did say, and I paraphrase, that it's always been a dream of him to represent the Wallabies, which many pointed out is quite funny given he went to court the week before to play for Melbourne in rugby league. How do you react?
Frame mogged Lomax Singh. Zach Vicula, rugby union. Lomax's cuck. Volandi's cortisol spike.
Yeah, cortisol spike.
Phil Waugh. I mean, it is. I would say I've loved Lomax for a long time.
Good player.
I find him in a league of, let's say, guys with sort of vacant expressions on their face. I would say Lomax impressively had the best 1,000-yard stare in rugby league, which is incredible, and that's a sport he'd played all his life. And I would say at times Lomax would be incredibly talented and do things on a rugby league field that go, have you ever seen this game? And I'm excited to see in a sport that he's never played, rugby union, that's very technical and has a lot of bullshit laws and rules. I cannot wait to see that. That's what they need though. You know, Rugby Australia has been missing a leaguey with a goatee and a sort of Vietnam flashback sort of stare out on a wing.
I've always said that.
Out on a wing, causing chaos with the high ball. But I mean, it'll be good. We'll take anyone we can get.
Yeah, I mean, is it a win for the 2027 World Cup for the Wallabies? I mean,
I hope so.
Are we basically at the stage where the more leagueies we can try and populate this team with, the better chance we are of perhaps making a quarterfinal and dare we say progressing to a semi? You know, because where are we at? We're at Crichton. We've got Zac Lomax.
Crichton's
in. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Who am I? There's someone else I'm missing as well. Shafovsky. Oh no, that's Lomax's manager.
Clint. Well, there's a union in league.
Exactly, a guy did both. But do you want to say? I mean, we always hit the rumours about Cleary don't go away.
Yeah,
you want to make his move soon, I'd imagine.
They got Suali.
Suali, that's what I'm talking about. I mean,
yeah. I mean, Yeah, it'd be good. It's a bit of a fuck you to the people that have played it all their lives, but with not.
And that seems to, I mean, Jimmy Graham's not having it on the bye round, so there's that. But
is Jimmy fired up? Is he?
He's filthy. He's filthy because it's the game that's given Lomax everything.
Yeah.
And then Lomax isn't playing, but Lomax did talk to Sonny Bill Williams apparently, and I didn't need to read the material of that article to know what that would have meant. You know, I'm still filthy from what Money Bill Squillians did all those years ago to the Dogs.
It'd be awesome if it was just Lomax has found the light of Islam. It was completely not about playing rugby union. Anyway,
hell of a time. Huey, huge fines and lengthy bans face pitch invaders as Alex Johnston nears try-scoring record, the NRL's try-scoring record. So for background, Alex Johnston's a winger for South Sydney Rabbitohs. He's scored 211 tries in his career. He is one try away, one try short of the Bears great Kenny Irvine, who scored 212 tries. And let's just not forget for a second that it's the one thing that North Sydney Bears have done in rugby league. Irvine's never been anywhere near an immortal, apparently, despite having the most tries for a long time anyway. But he's one try away. I think the Bunnies play the Roosters on the weekend, don't they? Who are vehemently opposed to any suggestion that fans, to commemorate this long-held record, run on the field. So for further background, the record was held by Harold Horder before Ken Irvine overtook that. And this record lasted, it's 1973 that Kenny finished up with Manly. And so it's been around for 50 plus years.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
53, yeah. So Wayne Bennett, Huey says, Wayne Bennett says, it's not our game. No comprehension why it should happen. It needs to be respect for the game. Whereas one of his charges, Campbell Graham, is all for it.
Yeah.
Fans risk $5,500 fine, and there's going to be increased security. Now, is this like are the NRL posturing that people shouldn't do it, but want that brand moment, which is the most important thing, like Buddy Franklin?
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing reeks of just Buddy. Buddy is the silent thing in all this, right? And it's funny for Wayne to be like, that's not our game. That's a bit uncouth. That's like, it's like, I sort of see what he's saying, but I would also say maybe there's not a more uncouth sport in the world than rugby league, and we should embrace this sort of stuff. But I do find it funny when people run on the field and then it's like, oh, all right. Yeah.
Because they love it in Aussie rules.
Yeah,
people froth on being on the field.
Yeah.
It's one of the great things. And there feels like there's something that ties you to the past when people are able to encroach on a field of play and surround millionaires.
It's exciting, yeah. It's exhilarating.
I mean, if you were going to the game, would you...
I wouldn't be the first in.
Yeah.
But that's sort of like me with fashion, like I wasn't breaking down the door to wear skinny jeans, but when the wave came, I was like, I guess, squeeze into these, like I'll be, if there's 1,000 on there, then I'm like, I'll have a look.
Yeah, I'll go on
now.
Yeah.
I'm not brave enough.
It's a personality test.
Yeah.
Because with the Buddy one, and all of the clips that came through after that with the emotional background music, etc.
Yeah.
You see the guys that are behind Buddy or in the shot, in the background of Buddy as he's walking in, as he's making his approach to kick the goal. And a couple of them go early before he kicks it, which is cool. Harder to do with finishing a try as a winger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, are you a trainer? You know what I mean? Like, are you on the field going like, I think Johnson's going to score, or if he takes an intercept, it's hard to get on early. Or if you are at the other side of the ground, perhaps Johnson thinks you're a defender. Like I'm just thinking about the mechanics of getting onto the field.
I mean, it's AJ. AJ is awesome, and he makes this joke himself. He sort of embraces the catch and fall merchant.
Yes.
Sorry, so that's all he does. He just opens space, and that would be pretty awesome if he's just just on the try line space. Latrell just drops him and he falls over.
Well,
but that it'd be electric.
I was there for Pluggers 1300 against Collingwood, and I think he needed 4 in the first quarter, I think, and there was a ball that was on the deck that he nearly as they'd say in Aussie rules soccered through,
Yeah.
which would have been a very anticlimactic way to bring up
Yes,
the records. Anyway, he scuffed it and ended up kicking it through properly, albeit mongrel. I just want to check this with you, Huey, as well. Kalen switched allegiance to the Kiwis. Was he ever allied with the Kangaroos? I doubt it.
He might have played a handful of times.
Right. Has he actually played for Australia? I don't think he's played a test for either.
Maybe
Kalen.
not. I
He's
have
certainly
vague
played for
memories
Queensland,
of-
though.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
I have
And,
vague memories of, when they colour code their headgears. It's always exciting. Oh, he's got the green and gold one now. That's good. But yeah, I can't remember.
I don't think it has any impact on whether he plays for Queensland or not. I mean, I
Yeah,
think
so
isn't
the
the general
rules now
situation?
It's just a bit of a free for all.
Yeah,
is it?
you're just playing, and
Oh, that's great. Fantastic news for Queenslanders. Watch the fucking Blues, the Blues adjacency come out of the woodworks.
Well, I mean,
watch the Queensland ones.
Yeah, sorry.
We'll find you'll find some pretty.
Josh Papali's done pretty well.
We'll find some pretty exhilarating, tenuous links to Queensland and. I mean that's a wild comment you've made about links to the state, but okay. I mean Lomax going to rugby is a win for Queensland as well, I suppose. Yes, yeah. He will be missed.
Anything else you want to pick up on league? Anything else getting you hot? Because I think I've pretty much got all of it there.
No, I just looking forward to maybe round 2, one Queensland team winning and not getting 50 put on them.
Nice. Is it time to start talking Origin teams as well? Is that where we're at?
Well, it's almost a bit too late, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, remember everyone, the only place you can watch every game of every round this season with no ad breaks during play is Fox League, available on Kayo. Before we get to Aussie rules as well, Huey, shout out to NordVPN who are back in the circus this year. A very, very big week for people wanting VPNs.
Big week for the
VPNs. A very big week for VPNs. Now, what I mean by that is, through NordVPN, you can access region-locked content. For example, no need to travel to Japan for your favourite anime.
Yeah.
Right?
How's the One Piece on it?
Exactly. Is there any streaming service or content that you like to stream, Huey, that you use a VPN for or that you found particularly helpful? I'm not necessarily saying this week.
Not this week.
Necessarily.
No. But this might be the week for me to get a VPN. I've never needed one, but now
always been able to access.
Yeah. So what? I can get my Kayo. That's all I need, mate. But now, who knows what I'll be out there checking out.
Chucky, is your
Chuck.
mic on
this
there
is
as
more
well?
A Chuck sort of thing. This is right up Chuck's alley. Bit of football and that sort of thing.
When have VPNs helped you most with accessing region-locked content this week or otherwise?
Genuinely, the only time I've used a VPN was when we were in America for the Cricket World Cup, and I had to upload Patreon, and it was easier to switch my computer back to Australia rather than figure out what the time difference was, so I could schedule it for like midnight.
There you go.
So
for professional purposes.
Yeah, if you're bad at math.
Yeah.
Fucking sign up.
So, just for people who are watching on the video, or if you're not either, so Chuck's delivering that gold while camera switching, seeing who's reacting best as well. I like it.
Who's getting the biggest pop?
Exactly. Who's laughing the most? Now, you can grab your exclusive NordVPN deal by going to nordvpn.com/the circus to get a huge discount off your NordVPN plan, plus 4 additional months on top. It's completely risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. As we always say, it's basically making money and just providing value. Australian rules football, whose premier competition is the AFL, the Australian Football League. There's a lot going on, and people are filthy. I mean, that goes without saying. People would have been horrified to learn yesterday, and this is Mitch Cleary's reporting, that Hawthorn duo Dylan Moore and Connor McDonald were arrested on an overseas trip last season. And it was an arrest and a transgression that has cost Moore the club vice-captaincy. There's a fair bit of tumult in Melbourne over this story at the moment. The pair spent a night in jail in Phoenix Arizona. They're going to face court for trespassing. It was something that only a couple of people in the AFL knew about, including Hawthorn. Some of the players found out only hours after Mitch Cleary's reporting. Okay. Now, I just to give some background, Dylan Moore then was interviewed by Mitch Cleary to clear up what the incident was that everybody's so concerned about.
I was in the US. I was out having a few drinks and made a foolish mistake. Decided to get on a scissor lift, and next thing I know, the cops are there telling me to get off, and I got off, and the next thing I know is I'm in police custody.
So, there's a lot of concern around Melbourne at the moment. Hawthorn's in crisis. Because a couple of guys got on a scissor lift in the off season.
It's not what you want to hear, is it? Not the scissor lift.
Yeah, exactly.
It's it's big news, and it's important stuff.
Yeah,
and I would say
it's not what Hawthorn needs as well at the start of the season.
No, it's not hot ball, as they say. Yeah, it's it is crazy. There's definitely something in the Australian psyche when you're overseas drunk to operate machinery. This is as someone that on a boys' trip to Japan, all 20 of us were arrested because one of our mates just saw a snow digger with the keys in it at 2 a.m. Was like, I gotta have a crack.
I gotta go. It's gotta go.
Does it work the same over here?
Yeah.
And this is just an inquisitive mind. This is an inquisitive Australian mind going, how do the scissor lifts work up here in Arizona? And you gotta have a checkout. You gotta have a sticky beak, as they say.
If anything, a sign of leadership and a curious mind, a curious mind, and a mind geared towards innovation. Much the same way as Moore's coach Sam Mitchell has built his reputation, a user of AI, etc.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I saw that. That is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
so Hawthorn fans mightn't be too displeased with what's going on.
Yeah, well, I guess it's in an AFL player's natural instinct to just want to get high, you know, take a hanger. It's like, just going up on a scissor lift, being like, imagine if I could get this high.
Yeah, but it was. Look, I got to say, like, it was. I feel like you really not that you really feasted a trough. You know, you drink from the trough, but like seeing the camera angle of the back of Mitch Cleary's head with Dylan Moore there, looking forlorn and solemn, and the window behind it out to the training paddock or whatever was behind, but then there was a curtain there as well. A guy that's embarrassed who's had to come clean, not to be confused with the come cleaner that we discussed last year.
Come cleaner.
Thank you. Thanks, Chuck. I just feel like, to me, you know, there's been a lot of conjecture about opening round that half the team's playing and the other half have got to wait or whatever. This, to me, this is the sort of stuff that's really ringing the bell on the season beginning. Just a solemn, upset footy player explaining getting on a scissor lift in Phoenix, Arizona.
It is. I like to just focus very briefly on the Phoenix, Arizona element of it, because I feel like whether they're all there, I don't know exact details. But in my mind, I hear Phoenix, Arizona, I think of every movie with like a witness relocation program. It's like you're being moved to Phoenix, Arizona. And I can't help but feel like the Hawks and stuff are like, okay, we've got to go over and get away from it all. Get as far away out of the bubble.
Yes.
You know, there was the dramas with the Lions in Vegas last year. We can't, you know, there's what happens in Vegas no longer even applies. You know, we've lost that sacred code. We've got to go further. We've got to go deeper. We've got to go to Phoenix, Arizona. And for them to have a scissor lift blow up, of all places in Phoenix, Arizona, must sting to have that, you know, that come back to get them. And the paraphernalia.
Yeah, and then that was, I don't think we have that clip, but then there was just like, and then there's like, and what about the drug paraphernalia? It's like, there was no
charges were dropped.
Charges were dropped.
It's like, ooh,
sorry,
masterfully done. Oh, okay, all good. That could be anything.
Exactly, it could be anything.
Which is why you should clarify it.
You should.
But it was It was dropped.
You would have noted this morning in The Age, Huey, the screaming headline. I think it was the front page, wasn't even back page, ahead of this Friday's clash between the Dons and Hawks. Your Essendon scum inside the origins of footy's most intense hatred. Now, you would have been aware that this was footy's most intense hatred, wouldn't you?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What with the Zach Merritt Farrago over the summer, and and you go all the way back to Dipper Domenico, and and then you got the story of Lloydie, and
I saw Dipper DJing. That's my main. Of the scene, I saw Dipper was doing posts recently. It was probably at the horse racing or something. But Dipper's a DJ now.
Sweet.
So that's my hot take. But yeah, no, I'm not fully. Do you want to run me through some of the hotter takes of it all?
I saw Dipper. No, I won't finish that. No, not really. You can. There's a 3-part series in the Age, so you really can't miss it.
Yeah,
Sean Connery. Now, opening round first game, Swans destroyed Carlton. Carlton put up a fight first half, looked pretty good. Hard ball gets, all that kind of stuff. Before the Swans, and I've got to say, on the show last week, Tom Papley did say we're going to play fast, and they did play fast. The Swans, they look good. 12 goals third quarter. White flag stuff from Carlton. Kerno in on the act. Justin McInerney looked good. I'm sure you would have again watched every minute of that just to pick up and just with the new rules and
the
stuff.
New
that's
rules,
coming.
it's really taking the handbrake off.
Well, I was just going to say.
Someone read the rundown.
Quinton Hull, Q, and shout out to Q, he's a good man on ABC. He said the rule tweaks have taken the handbrake off AFL footy, and the Swans play without the handbrake, and then the Dogs got it done against your boys, the Lions.
Was tough. I did see
kicked 7 in a row or something down the Lions in Brisbane as well.
Yeah.
Harris Andrews in trouble. Yeah, all this stuff would have.
Tough loss. No, I did watch the end of that after a gig. It's a great comeback from the Dogs, unfortunately.
Suns dusted the Cats as well. Suns looking good. I mean, that again.
No,
so Queensland footy teams. I mean, Lions are good, but
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
No, you're obviously right across that. But but the big story from the week beyond the scissor lift, etc., is new media versus establishment media.
Battle lines have been drawn.
That's right. Dan Gorringe versus Jared Waitley. I mean, the symbolism. It just drips with symbolism and change, doesn't it? So if you missed this story, Dan Gorringe, Dan Does Footy, played a voice message from Sam Docherty, who's a former Carlton captain, just with some reflections on Carlton's loss. The insights were very it was very insightful, would be a better way to say it, and laden with expletives that I don't think anyone really cares about. Well, maybe that's wrong, but and it sort of
it sort of reeked of a speak pipe. Because he was also on the move. If you listen to the audio, he's walking. You can. We had a few driving ones, but a walking one's even better. A walking speak pipe or that sort of thing, just a hot take on the move.
Is that where this is
I'm
gone
walking
wrong?
the dog. It's like, what the fuck are they doing? And you're like, oh, okay, he's locked in. Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was a good recording. Probably could have been just between mates, but who knows?
Well, that's. I mean, the media theory and ethics are, as you'll want to say when you don't want to say anything, above my pay grade.
Yes.
But you may have unlocked the whole misunderstanding with this. This was just a speak pipe.
It was just a speak pipe. It should have come straight to TG. It should have come straight to the surface.
I see. The conversation tended to be like, well, did he have permission to say it? Docherty was like, well, not really, but I'm good to go because we're mates. So does that, because does the ends justify the means?
Yeah.
Journo's not particularly happy, maybe because they get those insights, but need permission to use it. So,
Yes.
But is that just dog eat dog of media?
Yes.
Does anyone outside of media give a fuck? Don't know. Waitley said, I think that is disgusting behaviour. Matthew Lloyd said, mates don't do that. Michael Voss, Carlton coach, said, another example of culturally defeating ourselves. And
Now
Dan
that's
Gorringe said, old man media is so funny.
My take, now I don't know a heap about Gorringe, but my main take would be, you come at the king, you best not miss. And by that I mean him trying to murder Dave Hughes at a charity benefit game last year, put him in the hospital, and I would say, mate, you do not know what you're dealing with. We're talking Machiavelli, Sun Tzu, Hughesy. Okay? My plans are not measured in days, they're measured in centuries. Okay? You come at me, mate, you're in for a world of hurt. Because I have friends. I have friends in high places. Okay? I used to do the bounce with Jared Waitley. and you've made a powerful enemy, and I'm a blues man, and Vossi will ride me. He will ride me. I fuck Michael Voss. I'm Hughesy. Anyway, shout out to Hughes, a great guy. But yeah,
Sorry.
Gorringe, mate. Yeah,
dummy.
you are just starting to reap what you sow, mate.
So what you're saying is that this is Waitley, Caro, John Ralph to a lesser extent, et al. Are basically squaring up.
Yeah.
This is a square up
Yeah.
for what Dan did to Hughesy in the that All Stars game.
Yeah. Hughesy's the original old media funny man.
Interesting.
The original funny sportsman, you know?
Absolutely love it.
Anyway.
Oh, shit. The F1 obviously took place over the weekend, Huey. I was out there. And shout out to...
What's it like out there? I've never got to get out there.
I've never been out before until last weekend. Shout out to everybody who sent me information on how to manage myself at the F1. So I explicitly asked for information on things I could say to people that were prefixed with what you need to understand about F1 is.
Yes.
And I received some briefs that were like fit for a federal minister. Or a CEO.
Fantastic.
Like I was in the Uber on the way out there reading it, going like, "This is
That'd be good.
some of this stuff was like
been your aid or something.
high.
In the backseat of an
it
Uber
was,
with
but
you.
it was highly polished stuff where I got to learn about how it works, the point scoring system, the drivers, the engines, how things there's more electricity and battery powered now, that sort of shit.
Yeah, I mean, technical wise, fantastic. But really, what I want to know, it feels like the birdcage on Heat, right? The vibes, the energy. Instead of the horses, it's the cars, and they're going even faster, even worse sort of live viewing experience. Oh, that was good. Back to the telly. What's going on there? Any canapes?
It is a bit like that.
No, but I like it.
So walk in. It feels like a lot of events these days, which have now they've realised that we can get more people through the gates if we give them stuff other than the sport.
Yeah.
Which is food and drink that's good and people looking kind of hot.
Brand activation,
and people feeling rich.
Yeah.
With more of a gourmet experience. So you go past and there's the creme de la creme of the exclusive spaces, as far as I could see, was the Casa Ferrari or whatever the fuck. Where you go to if you're with the Ferrari people or some shit. But yeah, I had a seat in the grandstand. I saw the F2 first. Obviously, with the first, I was in Prost grandstand, famously. I think that's the last turn.
Got to support twos before ones play.
Yeah, there's people are explaining that F3, F2, F1. It's you basically making your way through the grades.
Yeah.
And obviously, cars go around. Couple of reflections. That's loud and that's fast, and that's what everybody has.
Did you find yourself levitating towards one of the teams? Did you have a favourite? Or Piastri, I guess.
Well, and here's what happened with Piastri. I mean, if he missed out, he put his car into a wall before the race started. Turn 4, I know you're wondering.
Yeah.
He had some battery issues, 100 kilowatts of extra power. He didn't realise he had that, you see, and cold tyres. And that's what I was thinking. But no, what actually happened was I was outside the venue. I was outside the track, like most people were, in between the F2 and the F1, getting multiple beers. And I noticed there's super screens around everywhere at the back. And I noticed that firstly the screen appeared to be showing the replay of a race because I saw there was rain or something, and I could hear bombastic music over the top, and I thought, this must be. I heard it was pissing down last year, so this must be, some highlights of the race last year. Wasn't really paying much attention. Turned back, must have only been 10 seconds later, and I saw a car basically next to a wall, broken. And smoke billowing from it. And I was like, oh, that must be a highlight of someone crashing last year. Except I also noticed that the entire crowd was watching this screen fucking stupefied.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then I've heard someone go Piastri's out. And I'm like, I'm being honest here, I didn't even know a formation lap existed. They go for a little Let's go for a little look around the track, like a lap around the oval, like when you're warming up, you know. But that's
Visualise,
basically well, that's what happened. So he's basically gone for
Captain's run.
He has. He's gone for a lap and he's done a hammy. Is this the best way I can put it?
Yeah, that's
and
tough.
the flat
a $3 million hammy or whatever.
Like the flatness around the track was palpable. Like
that's
4 in 5 people I reckon are there in like papaya Piastri kit, and there's a Piastri stand. And I heard an American guy say I've flown 17 hours from the US to see Oscar.
Oof.
I was just waiting for like a Heineken, and yeah, so that took a while to like come to terms with. But
that's,
then
that's rough.
But yeah, cars are quick, and first 10 laps were really good. Like George Russell and Leclerc were like going, toe to toe, and we kept hearing that they're passing each other a lot.
Yeah.
So and everyone goes ooh when the pass happens on the TV screen, and then when they start pitting, and I say they pitted, and the safety car comes out to clean up the track. Then people are at all sorts of different times, and I didn't have much of a clue what was doing there.
Yeah, it gets a bit.
Yeah. So
ethereal.
there were people who rose in front of me with Red Bull flag.
Yeah.
Red Bull flag probably about like 1.5 meters by 1. Just continually waved it as the cars went past at 300 Ks. Just like, like so if I'm Verstappen, who made his way through from the back, I'm just like,
if I'm Verstappen and they miss it one lap, I'd be like,
what's happening? Exactly.
I noticed that. Come on, guys. I mean, I get it's so big now, F1, and it's so varied. Like, there's blokes at the gig from Adelaide having Jim Beam, cans at the comedy, like we're here for F1. And then there's also like, I know people that in comedy, they do Renaissance fairs and they are deeply engaged in Max Verstappen. Like it's really quite a broad church now, F1.
Yeah.
And I just don't know. It's fantastic. I get the people that go for Ferrari, but I'm like, if you're like, I'm obsessed with Red Bull. So it's an energy drink.
I mean, there's, I know people who are like, look, I've just always been a McLaren guy.
Yeah. I mean, that's, obviously, yeah. You drive a Ford Laser, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, McLaren's just a beautiful car.
It's a really good car.
Yeah, it's a beautiful car.
It's one of the problems with Aston Martin this year is that they use a Honda engine. So it's, did I get that right? God. But I think it is fair to say, and the boys actually, the most ferocious corrections come from the Formula One fans. So I reckon if there's fewer than 10 of what I've just said, I'm not here.
Don't boys actually mean
6 Nations Rugby. England continue to get dusted. Italy beat them now, and
what a joy!
And their front row, got to be one of the pack. There's some great footage of him singing.
I did see that.
Isn't that nice?
Bellissimo.
Yeah. Exactly.
Allora. Yeah, up the boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Up the lads.
I think the speak pipe accounted for whatever else happened in Super Rugby. Australia, aren't beating New Zealand teams. Would that be fair to say?
I think they beat all of them in one of the rounds. But
okay, someone beat
back
someone.
To form.
Yeah, that's good. Zac Lomax. That's what's happened there. On the football. Women's Asian Cup. Now, Australia, the Matildas, they have North Korea on a Friday night, this Friday night, in a quarter at Perth Rectangular Stadium. And people are unhappy.
The Cauldron.
Exactly.
Perth Rectangular Stadium.
After they drew 3-3 with South Korea in their group.
Yeah.
That left Australia second in their group, having to play against a higher ranked opposition. In the quarterfinals of which is North Korea. Yep. Otherwise, I would have played someone they.
Now, to North Koreans, to put you on the spot here, North Korea and South Korea, are they just sort of playing in Australia? There must be a neutral ground somewhere for that one.
Chuck, what occurs vis-a-vis North and South Korea
in the women's?
I don't know if they've ever played. Let me see. We could see them in a final together.
Sorry, I just thought they might have been all in the same group or something. And so these are finals. Okay.
Yeah. So But the main point is that like there's a lot of disappointment around Australia that the Matildas have failed to finish first in their group. But as far as I can tell, this looks to be another situation where they have literally finished at the level they have played at. You know, like they went into the game, this final group game against South Korea, needing to win to claim top place. South Korea only required a draw, such was their superior goal difference.
Yes.
So basically South Korea dusted the other teams better than the Matildas did, ergo earned the right to draw and make their way through. That's exactly what they did. Now, Chuck, you got a bit more info on the Matilda-South Korea game itself. As far as I understand, South Korea probably dominated this game.
Yeah, just on North Korea and South Korea.
Oh, thanks
first. Yeah. I know you're asking. They've played each other 14 times in women's football. North Korea dominate the rivalry, unsurprisingly.
Really?
They've had 10 wins.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so we got... it's not good news for the
North
Matildas.
Korean women's football in a strong place.
They are. Very, very good watch, if you want to watch it. They play some nice football.
Nice stuff, okay.
Yeah.
Launch it, if you will.
But South Korea very deserving of their spot atop the group.
Yeah, I think so. They are. They also play a very good brand of football. And then Matildas started very slow in that first game. Only got one goal away. So,
am I right, Chuck? That once again our expectations fail to match the reality when it comes to the Matildas. That's the most amount of respect I can give them.
Yeah, that's probably fair. They're probably. I think they would only be a chance in this competition, given that they are like playing at home, and no other team seems to have much support at all, like in terms of fans at the ground. But so far definitely played to their level. Okay. They should win though.
Okay,
I stand by that.
They should. Okay, right. So they should defeat North Korea, who regularly defeats South Korea, who finished above Australia. Well, I know sport doesn't work like that, but it sounds to me like North Korea, who finished atop their group, probably a pretty good shout against us.
But
Matildas though, back the girls.
Yeah, well, that's right. Can they do it in Perth Rectangular Stadium?
Yeah.
That is
well
the question.
Said. Well said. Thank you. I needed that. Tottenham continue to slide in the men's EPL and Champions League and everything else. They're just set for relegation, which has prompted several memes. I don't know if you caught this morning, Huey, in the Champions League, but their debutant keeper, Kinski, conceded a couple of painful howlers and was dragged by new manager Tudor in the 17th minute. He was subbed.
Tough.
He was subbed in the 17th minute, 3-0 down to Atleti. Final score 5-2. And a lot of the keepers union have come together to support Kinski, given that many are saying, and I don't say this, I don't mean to trivialise it, but many are saying that kind of thing, being subbed after 17 minutes as a keeper, is a potential career ender.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
Well, I played goalkeeper, in indoor soccer leagues. So
yeah,
I know the stress.
It's not easy. Yeah, it's lonely.
It's lonely back there,
Yeah.
and bad on the knees.
Yeah,
fucking basketball pitches. That's brutal.
Yeah, and meanwhile Arsenal are on for the quadruple, so not great for Tottenham right now. Makes Ange look good though, got to say.
Yes.
Yeah, somewhat.
Wow.
So, and that's all. That's just a truism of sport. It's like it's not enough to succeed. You need others to fail, and others are failing worse than Ange did. Ergo, Ange, is now a world-renowned coach.
Exactly.
You get better by not playing or coaching. That's an ironclad truth of sport. We've got an incredible chat with Craig Foster up next. Higos and I recorded this a fortnight ago in Sydney, which I think is relevant to say because as we go to it on Wednesday, we are knee deep in the departure of several Iranian women's footballers back to their homeland. While, as far as we understand right now, 5 have remained as refugees supported by Australia. Potentially one more. It's obviously a dynamic situation, but. We recorded with Craig Foster, a fortnight ago in Sydney prior to these developments concerning the women's football team, which is why you will not hear discussion about it. But you will hear discussion about several other humanitarian issues because Foster, he gets into it, and other football stuff as well. So this is He Goes and I with Craig Foster, an awesome chat back in Sydney a couple of weeks ago. Well, what a privilege it is to have with us today former, and I'm just going to read some teams here that are of interest to me. Sydney United, Marconi Stallions.
Sydney United, yeah.
Portsmouth, Crystal Palace, Northern Spirit, and 29 cap Australian Socceroo and captain, and that was just the first chapter. He's also a human rights activist, champion of the disadvantaged, author, adjunct professor, triple Logie winning broadcaster, former chair of the Australian Republican Movement, football analyst with Stan, and formerly of the iconic SBS, member for the Order of Australia, father of 3 kids, and is it the best salad or hair, Foz, in Australian sport? It's in the conversation. Craig Foster AM on the circus today. Foz, the warmest of welcomes.
Oh, no, great. Lovely to be with you guys. You guys are doing a good job. Always good to chat football.
Okay. Well, let's start in Tehran, 97.
All right, yeah. Wow.
I remember watching that as it, like,
Really?
I was 13, 12. Jeez, and you had a fucking great game. Grainy footage for Aussies there. Like for an Australian who was just kind of, he grew up in Sydney, the monopoly of rugby league really at the time, but soccer, as we're calling it then, is just bursting through in the consciousness of kids when it comes to the national team. And you get this grainy footage of the Socceroos, the emerging golden generation in Tehran, taking on Iran to make that 98 World Cup, the elusive World Cup. And you set up Kuhl early on in the game. Memories of Tehran first leg, before we get to the second, if we're allowed to talk about it.
Well, it was a pretty amazing experience overall. Obviously, we didn't get through in the end, with the big Melbourne game, but 129,000 people, one of the biggest crowds. 129,000. One of the biggest crowds in contemporary football and sporting history. There's not many grounds in the world. That was the Azadi Stadium that actually can hold that many people, obviously. We used to have the Maracanã in Brazil, was around 200,000, going back to the 60s and 70s. But because of the safety, they had to kind of pull that back. So it was the biggest crowd any of us had or would ever play in front of, and it was all male because women weren't allowed into the stadia. Still, they have problems with that in Iran today, and it's one of the issues we've been fighting with Iranian activists in recent years, to allow women both to play but also attend freely any football games that they like, which is, is obviously in FIFA statutes, but they don't push too hard on that. So, we went there, and all that happened is every time we got the ball, 129,000 men just whistled.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was the only time I ever played a game of football. Of course, played in England and elsewhere with big crowds, boisterous, loud crowds. But this time, it was so shrill and loud. There was the only time ever where we could be this close on the field, and Emma would be trying to communicate, and it would just be... You just could not hear a thing. And of course, they're used to playing in it. For us, it was not easy, because football is a game of communication, right? At every moment on the field, you constantly just listen, make sure you come back here next time. Listen, don't let that guy run there, or he's coming inside, you need to get across, or defenders are talking to you, or the keeper's talking to everyone. So you're constantly talking, particularly midfielders, and that was the only game I think I ever played where talking was just completely useless. And so
even if there was a corner, like someone said away, you wouldn't have known to do that.
That's true, and the keeper will often do that, as obvious as you would think that would be, right? So it was really crazy in that regard. And what my reflection on it was, because the team was well organised and we knew what we were doing, you would need to do that to actually perform well. Of course, we led, and then they come back to 1-1. But also, in those moments, you need players who are able to just rise above that. They're just not concerned by it. And most of those Socceroos were, some of our most legendary players. But the big one who really was completely unconcerned by anything in any game at any point was Harry Kuhl. And he was still young. I think he might have been 19 at that at that time.
You dinked that ball over the top for him. That was a nice pass.
Yeah, nice pass. And he, but the thing about Harry is, like, even when he came in at 17, and I think Eddie Thompson played him, it was in a game abroad. I can't quite remember who the opponent was, but this 17-year-old kid just came in, and it was typical of him. He just got the ball and just started going at everyone. Like, he was just one of those players. It didn't matter the situation, didn't matter the opponent, didn't matter anything. He just had that confidence, Just give me the ball, guys, and I'll take everyone on. And he continued that, right throughout his career. So he was important in certainly in the first leg, anyway.
Can we talk about the second leg? Or
Let me just tell you one thing. We will in a moment.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you one thing about that as well.
Yeah.
So what happened is, because global football, we saw what happened in 2001 with Uruguay and 2005 when our players went over there and then they got abused at the airport and so on. We used to have a bit of that here. So it's very European, Latin American. If you're a fan of a particular team, you have to not just be great sports. You have to upset the other team in any way that you possibly can. It's a part of many football cultures around the world. It's not a big part of Australian football or sporting culture.
To our detriment, do you think?
No, I think it's good the way we do it. I think the way we look at it is, look, let's just be better than them, and we don't need to resort to nefarious means. I think we have that sense of sportsmanship, and I love that.
I'm pretty sure we booed the Uruguayan national anthem.
That's
in
true.
05.
That's true. Exactly. I don't think we'd ever done before.
Yeah,
and in fact, when we booed, it was kind of like, everyone was a bit uncomfortable, but we could understand why.
We wanted it.
And that's when we thought, geez, we've got a big chance of actually getting through here. Yeah.
I think we broke into Aussie, oi, oi afterwards, so it got pretty vicious.
And with John Travolta.
Yeah. And you remember that coach?
Jangly sort of way of singing.
And you remember the Uruguayan coach? Every time he would stand up to say something, he was getting booed. Yeah. And so in many ways, it was a bit of an un-Australian night, but awesome. But it worked. But what happened is, even in the NSL, you talked about Sydney United, which used to be called Sydney Croatia. We would go away to games, for example, or with Adelaide City, and the fans of the away team in Melbourne or wherever would come to the hotel, find out where you were, and they would let off fireworks in the middle of the night, or often the fire alarm was a common one, right? So you'd be like 1 a.m, you'd be trying to have sleep for a big game the next day, and all of a sudden the fire alarm, everyone comes out in their slippers, and their gowns, and they have to come outside the hotel because you have to go out. So you'd be standing outside for half an hour just going, oh my God, and you had to play next day. So what happened in the international forum was, one of the employees of what was known as Soccer Australia at the time was sent over typically 6 months before and then a couple of months before to scout the hotel, scout everything, make sure it's going to be fine. Is the restaurant fine? Do we need to bring our own food? Whatever, right? Where are we going to actually stay? And so the local federation and or government will also facilitate that. So here's 3 hotels, come and have a look and scope it out. So by the time the game happens, the players come, everything's already done. There's a lot of work to make that safe. And anyway, so they've gone over and they go, it's a good looking hotel, all looks fine, no problem. Anyway, by the time we went, of course, what happened was there was a building immediately behind, and they had put there, like the week or two before, they put a massive crane with a huge wrecking ball. And so what happened is we come into the hotel and then all we hear is bush, bush. And this is just going on for hours and hours and hours and into the night. And of course, our kind of diplomats of football, whatever, are complaining, and they say, sorry, we don't know what you're talking about. This is something. That's what happened. We once went to Hungary to play, and we get into the floor of the hotel, and we come in, everything's fine, and then like about 6 p.m. We're playing the next day. All of a sudden, literally here, I don't think you see in the camera, but literally this, a hotel room, that size of roof, they're drilling. They're drilling in the roof. Just here, like right above your head. So everyone complains, oh, sorry, we've got problems on that floor. So can we go to another floor? No, there's no more rooms. So that sort of stuff used to happen a lot.
Oh, that's good. Now, second leg. Can we just dissect it a little bit? I mean, where did it go wrong?
Well, everyone knows what happened.
Can we talk about it?
Do you know? I can talk about it freely. I'll tell you why in a minute. But the thing about it is, I've never watched it again, though.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah. I never will watch it. So, it was painful because the team knew that we were not only in a great position 2-0 up to get through, but actually that we had the quality to get through, and that we had outplayed them largely in the second leg. It was a very good performance in most respects. And then, and also thought, with Venables in charge, he was the first coach to come to Australia effectively and said, listen, I remember having conversations with him. The local media and former coaches were kind of saying, look, the way that Australia plays, we're not kind of big enough, we're not good enough, we have to just play counter-attack and, we can't play all of this fancy football. And he would say to me, what is wrong with the media here? It's because we've got Paolo Ocon, he's at Lazio at that time, we've got Ned Zelic, he's at Dortmund, and...
Are we meant to say Paolo Ocon? I mean, that's a perfect example because in Australia they're talking about Paul Ocon.
Paul Ocon.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plays lock forward for the Dragons. You know what I mean? It's like that sort of speaks to the cultural cringe that we have in Australia, right? About playing expressive football, right?
Yeah, and we really did. And our coaches were very much focused on these kind of qualities which are important, but they were limiting, and that is, let's go and fight against everyone. It's an underdog mentality, and so it doesn't matter who we play, we're going to go and just show who Australia is. And what we needed, and Venners came in, and he goes, listen, you guys are bloody good players. I mean, we had Lazaridis, playing at West Ham. I mean, it was a very, very good team, right? We had Viduka and Kuhl up front. We had the two Vidmars. We had a young Aloisi. I mean, it was a good team. So he said, listen, you guys are all at the top level here, and this is the way I play football anyway. So he set the team up for the first time, I think, for male national teams in a way that we wanted to try and play a certain type of football. And it was working very well. His record was outstanding. I mean, we went to the Confederations Cup not long after that and only lost in the final, but we beat Uruguay, beat Mexico, and it was a good team. So anyway, that night was a mess once the guy ran out and jumped on the... jumped on the... and stopped the game.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
we knew in the game that we were superior.
Australia had their own Javo.
That's
right. That bloke, yeah.
So I don't know about this guy. Apparently did it in tennis. And but he just stopped it, and then all of a sudden what happened is the whole momentum was gone. And there was no way they were coming back. They knew they weren't coming back. We knew they weren't coming back. But then we stopped for however long it was, and then they could reorganise. And then they were able. We made a couple of mistakes, and then they got back into the game enough to be able to draw. But the reason I'm not today, I can speak about it whilst I would never watch it, is because the truth is that the game wasn't ready to get through anyway. So of course we were 15. I don't even know how long it was. I haven't looked back, but let's say we're 15 or 20 minutes from actually playing in a World Cup, which changes your life, changes everything. But at the same time, as players, our bigger project is for Australian football to get somewhere and do well, and that organisation at the time was unethical, corrupt, and inept, and ended up in early 2000s, we ended up effectively closing them down, bringing in other people, restarting as Football Australia, and then that was the start of the last 20-year journey where the game continues to grow today. So we weren't ready. Had we have got there, it might have kept those people in power, and we really needed them out of the game. So I think in the end things worked out.
Well, let's talk about 2005 then. Obviously, it is the most famous night of football in this country, right?
Yeah.
And the start of your broadcasting career as well. So there's a video of you and Simon Hill talking about your reflections on calling that game.
Yes.
And you said that the day before Les Murray takes you out for lunch.
He did, yeah.
And his advice to you is don't be too partisan.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so from that moment, do you think you were too partisan in that moment, by the way?
Well, probably. I was very unprofessional. So, being too partisan is only one part of it, right? I mean, it was basically a mess. I mean, the truth is I didn't like to do the over-game commentary for 90 minutes with Simon, right? I never did it. I didn't train for it. I didn't have ambition to do it. What I liked is to sit with Les, talk about the game, talk about the context, come back at watch the game properly, analyse it, come back at half time and say, okay, listen, this is where we're going, this is what might happen, and then after the game, wrap it up and analyse it. That's my job, effectively. So the kind of blow-by-blow calls I never enjoyed, and Les knew that. So I used to say to him, don't put me on it. I don't want to be on it. I would rather see the game in a different way. And I'm not good at it. I didn't say I was good at it. And what happened is he said,
but how do you say no to this? I mean, look at it.
It's built for television.
That's all I want to see.
Well, yeah, so I'm not sure about that. But
sorry, Oz.
I mean, you had Les. Les was the most dapper,
the
most dapper gentleman ever. So anyway, what happened is he said, we want you to do it. And I said, all right, if I have to, basically is what I said. No, I'm under contract. You know, and if you're gonna, he's basically saying, no, we want you to do it. We think that you're actually okay at it, and we think it's important that you're on it. So I said, all right, no worries. So, and then he said, but all I ask of you is just to kind of keep you cool, don't lose the plot, and and don't be too partisan. I said, oh well, I'll do my best.
Yeah, but I think it was like a great reflection of the people that had waited so. I mean, you were in the middle of waiting for so long. You know, Pez and I grew up in this age of going through the pain of the 90s and 2001 and into 2005 and following it. And so we were sort of spoiled that, I mean, I was 19 when that night happened. Right. So it was fucking perfect for me, you know what I mean? Man. So like when Alois is wheeling away and you're screaming, yes, Johnny Warren, like it's emotional for so many people. Yeah. I think you fucking smashed it, to be honest. Yeah, I know it's not like the professional clean call of a McAvaney with, Kathy running the 400, right, in the Olympics. But it was a perfect reflection, I think, of how so many people who love football in this country felt in that moment. Yeah. So whilst it might not have been clean and perfect and professional, it was true. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. So it's not as that, I mean, I'm happy about what happened, but I just recognise from a professional broadcasting point of view it's an absolute mess. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's where we were emotionally. It was quite
that's where we were, and that's where I was. And as I say, during the penalty shootout, the most telling moment is when, and I can't even listen to it back because it's so bad. But Simon says, and if we score this or something, we're through. And I say, are you sure? Because I'm not even counting. I mean, you're supposed I
was the same, to be fair. I was behind the goal. I had 20 beers. That's why I didn't know.
Well, I didn't have that excuse. So, it was, But again, what you're saying is true. I'd been there. At least half that team I'd played with them. At least half of them. We'd messed up in '97. Yeah. Or a large, Popper and everyone. And so to see there and see the teammates that close and the pressure, because I knew Hiddink could get them through. And of course, for all of us who genuinely love the game, what Johnny used to call true believers, we knew what would happen if we got through. So the level of pressure on them trying to get through, it was too much for me. I just couldn't handle it.
This is like a half formulated question / statement for us, but both Higos and I have deep passion for football, and respect. Both played, both follow it a lot. Both watched you at 4 a.m. halftime, Champions League, upset with your analysis.
That's right.
Yeah, which is part of it. That's the thing. And for a lot of us who again grew up with the monopoly of, say, in Sydney Rugby League, let's call it duopoly now, AFL Rugby League, through the winter codes, that midday World Football, SBS, Les Murray, yourself, later on, being able to watch Red Star Belgrade or something from the Serie A is a very important thing, I think, for a lot of people who are otherwise just given the meat and three veg of league and AFL or whatever. You mentioned before that the Socceroos embraced maybe a more expressive style of football that had previously been built on maybe a British foundation of get it wide, get it in. I don't know. Yeah, what is the character of Australian football right now? Now, where are we at? Is it a good I guess is it showing our multiculturalism well? Is it in a good state? What is the state of the footballing nation?
You mean the way that we play? Is this the
conversation? And where it sits right now in the in the seemingly constant competition for attention.
Well, it hits peaks and troughs. The troughs are less kind of shallow, if you like, than what they used to be.
Right.
Yeah. So it used to be very much 1974. Socceroos made it. It was unbelievable. And then Santos came in the late 60s and Pele's here, and they packed out the Sydney Cricket Ground. And then in 77 they started the Phillips Soccer League. It was the first national competition of any sport, which was very courageous. And then all of a sudden, it would go down then, and then we didn't make World Cups for a number of years. And then in 2001, I think it was, they couldn't even pay for a Socceroos team to go and compete in a certain tournament, or they couldn't bring players from abroad. So, the troughs were very, very low, whereas now what's happening, the game is on an upward trend. but we still, unfortunately, kind of go like this, right? And all of us are a bit frustrated by that. But we recognise that we're heading in the right direction, that we've come a long way, and it's important not to be too negative about the challenges that the game is facing, especially for us who've been around for decades and decades. We've seen like the true depths. So it's also in a lot of ways, you know, it has captured the hearts of Australia, and that was always our dream. So, you know, when the Socceroos Matildas play, you know, it becomes Australia. And we think that the Socceroos Matildas are Australia. They actually reflect Australia, which is important. And that was always Johnny, Les, and our rationale at SBS. That was the great dream. The great dream was that actually Australia as a football nation is a better Australia. That was at the heart of it. And that's why Les used to wear his suit and just sit there very proper and treat the game with such respect. It was respect to all of our multicultural communities and everyone who loved the game. But it was also saying, listen, this game, Australia needs to come to this game. We're not going to you. That was very important to SBS. So in the sense that we're not going to Australianise it, you know, so... you know, if it's a Philolopolis, you know, it's not going to be you know, Pooley or Philo or whatever.
Phil.
That's right.
Paul Ocon.
That's right. That's right. So what's going to happen is, you know, we respect this game, and this game is actually Australia's game because we do have all these communities here, and therefore you're going to have to come to us. And we believe that you are. We believe that eventually Australia is going to get this game because it's a game that can carry us to the world. And of course, you guys cricket lovers, you know, and cricket was a big part of my family as well. My old man was a very, very good opening batsman. But of course, it plays to only a small region of the world. Right? There's only a limited number of countries that play. So what we believed was that Australia engaging in World Cups, making it regularly and actually being able to compete in it is our greatest opportunity to speak to the world through our sport, which is what we most love. So there's so much to be positive about. In terms of the way that we play, you know, we've had two kind of... Venables came in and said, okay, we need to change this kind of underdog mentality and play. And then we went backwards again. And then Ange came in and did the same thing, which was important. And then we've stepped back again. And so what we've done is we've thought more. About 20 years ago, we changed all of the licenses and the thinking. And that was part of SBS. Like we were very conscious to change the language of the game. Because when people would understand what we're talking about, they could see the game differently. You know, and that was a bit of a challenge, you know, because people don't like to think differently about something. You know, they feel challenged by it. But because of that, in part, and we changed all the thinking around the game, I mean, the licenses and all that, we're in a place where we've adopted a lot of things from abroad to elevate ourselves quickly. And now I think we're in the process of actually Australianising it. Actually finding our own way of playing, which ultimately we have to do, right? So we've got very diverse teams, but what are the qualities and way of playing that most reflects this country? We're in that process now, in my view. That's probably another 5-10 years. By the time we find that and we're bringing through better players, we're going to be capable of actually really competing on the world stage and doing something very special.
You're talking there about respect for the communities watching the sport in Australia. I remember there was a couple of World Cups ago, there was like a furor with Lucy Zelic, like with the enunciation of surnames. Like, I mean, it was just ridiculous. It might have been, it wasn't Qatar, it must have been Russia, was it? Yeah, okay. Just talking about the Matildas, there's the Asia Cup. We're on the doorstep of the Asia Cup now. There's the World Cup in Brazil next year, and then, of course, there's the LA Olympics. The coach has only been in for, when did he get? Maybe June or July last year, something like that. Great CV, Arsenal, Juve, Lyon. So that part of the equation seems sorted somewhat. He hasn't really had a chance to get his feet under the table really so far. But what would be success, do you think, for the Matildas between the Asia Cup, the Olympics and a World Cup?
So in terms of what they're capable of, they can and arguably should be winning the Asian Cup at home.
Okay.
They won back in 2010. They've been close since. This is our most experienced team. We're on home soil. And as you saw with the Men's Asian Cup in 2015 and all of our sport, even if you look at the Socceroos' home record when we play at home has always been unbelievably good. Like 93, 1-1 against a Maradona-led Argentina, for example. Like at home, Australian football national teams are unbelievably strong, can take on really anyone in the world. And one of the reasons is because our fandom as Australian sport broadly is positive. Like, we are with our teams the whole time, doesn't matter how difficult it is. Whereas in many other countries, they'll start criticising their own team in the stadium, or they start waving flags, or and England are big on that. Is one reason why they haven't had success in football, right? It's because they're so negative on their team when it's not going well. Aussies don't do that.
That's not just football, by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, right. That's true. That's true. So they really get stuck into them, whereas our fans don't here. So it's one reason why in football anyway, I think broadly in sport, we are extremely strong at home. So an Asia Cup at home with a vastly experienced team, most of them are fit. We've only got a couple of injury issues, and we've got some good young talent coming through. And we've got one of the world's finest female football coaches, Jo Montemuro, been at 3 or 4 of the biggest clubs in the world, had a large amount of success, organised them well, hasn't had enough time, would have been better to have another 6 months, but it's enough anyway. Okay. He'll have to manage through the tournament, which I don't think he's really done before. That's the big challenge for him. Okay. It's one thing managing a season, it's another managing whatever this is, 5 or 7 game tournament to make the final and win. You have to evolve the team. Like a winning team in any competition, the starting 11 does not end as the starting 11. Injuries, red cards, and form. So that evolution over just a few week period is actually a skill. It's why they've got Tuchel at England, for example, now with his Champions League experience and so cup competitions are slightly different. That's the only question mark over Joe. He hasn't had to do that before. So that's a long answer to say we should be going very close to winning. Final is, I think, the minimum expectation. Anything less than that, obviously we'll be disappointed. Yeah. And then whatever happens is building into the World Cup next year. That's a bigger challenge. Yeah. That'll be the last moment for this generation of players in their early 30s. They're starting to get on, and a lot of them won't make the Olympics, I don't think. So the World Cup next year is their final swan song, and that's tough because all the other countries are accelerating dramatically. Spain got serious about women's football. It didn't take them too long. They're winning under 20 World Cups, and then they won the World Cup here 3 years ago. Yeah. Italy are getting serious. Like big football nations have got serious about women's football. And so we've got a big challenge ahead. We've got to maximise and finalise the greatest success with this generation, which is our best ever. And now we've got to look at, okay, how are we going to actually be successful in future? Yeah. What are we bringing through? How much are we investing? And the answer to that is nowhere near enough.
Oh, love it.
Interesting.
Just macro issues in football, Foz. Like I see a failed attempt at a European Super League in 2021. Yeah. Maybe softening the ground for something later. See a 48-team World Cup. I see an increasing presence of sovereign wealth funds as a way to, access the best players in football and everything else. Am I feeling it's all dystopian because my team personally hasn't won the league in 15 years?
Which?
Man United. Very rootsy of me. I'm from Salford, by the way. I was born in Salford. Are there genuine concerns about the way the game is structured, or was it ever thus? Has it always been this way?
Probably yes. Yeah. It's always had serious issues. It's always been appropriated by different forms of power. We had the military junta in '78 World Cup, for example. We had the Nazis, having a World Cup and an Olympics. Sport's always been like that. Football's not alone, but it does have big challenges about states and state vehicles, sovereign wealth funds, as you say, and other sporting vehicles taking over clubs and so on. We've got multi-club ownership, which is a serious issue. The trading of players and so on. We've got some of that here in Australia as well with Melbourne City. And so, all of those things need to be thought through. Ultimately, we've got a World Cup in US. We've got Infantino walking back from all sorts of ethical and integrity issues that the game should just be really clear on. because he loves Trump and he's just going to let him do basically whatever he wants to do with the game. So we've got serious issues at the global governance level, which we've really always had. And we don't have enough investment in the women's game. So, yeah, we've got issues. And also the ticketing of the World Cup in 2026 male World Cup in USA, Canada and Mexico has been horrific. And so it's kind of like this almost like surge pricing that you see. And so it's priced out many of the fans from around the world. And what they're saying is, well, maximise revenue, we can invest in other things, but you're taking the game away from the common people, the people who play it. So it should always be a case that if you play in Colombia or you play in Indonesia or you play in Nigeria and you're a fan, you should be able to travel to a World Cup and get tickets without having to mortgage your house to be able to watch your or other teams play. That is what the World Game should always be about. You have to balance that with revenue generation, but it's gone to an extreme level here at this World Cup. So we've got a lot of issues, but the beauty about football, I think, is that it's just so well loved. It has so much going for it. It's an incredible game. It's open to everyone. You can play with socks and, kind of manufactured balls in all areas of the world, whether in Latin America or Africa or even in Australia. And so it just continues to grow. This is why people can get into positions of power and stay there, even while they're doing nefarious things.
It's the double-edged sword, right? I mean, people just love it too much that they will continue to be exploited because they just love it so much, right?
And it's like World Cups. We went into the Qatar one, rightly saying, and the USA also has its massive issues. We went in saying, look, there's a lot of people died here actually building these stadia, and we need to talk about this. And kind of I'm all over it, and I donated my on-air fee because, I said, well, I can't be just doing this and people have died underground, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the first ball's kicked and you go, holy shit, what a fantastic goal.
Yeah.
Well, let's go, Australia, beautiful. And, the game is just it's too emotional. It's too great in that way.
It's when Infantino said, today I feel gay, I feel disabled, etc. Wasn't that part of... Can I ask you about the relationship with Infantino and Trump? Because, okay, the Mexico situation at the moment is its own separate issue, really speaking. But I look at Infantino's in the White House, he's wearing a Make America Great Again. I look at the Socceroos are supposed to play against the USA in Seattle. Trump's having some policy disagreements with Seattle, the state of Washington at the moment. So he's like, maybe that game shouldn't be played there. Exactly. I look at the Club World Cup when Trump's handing the trophy over to Chelsea and Cole Palmer's on stage being like, what's this bloke? Is he going to get on? How in bed are Infantino and Trump? Are they just in cahoots together?
Yeah, clearly. He gave him a peace prize, for God's sake.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's just seriously crazy Orwellian stuff. That's just madness. And it's something that football shouldn't be engaging in. It actually has a human rights policy. And so what football is supposed to be doing is saying, okay, we need to make sure everyone's protected in the game. And when we put these tournaments on, we need to make sure that the governing country is doing the right thing in a whole range of respects. And where we can, we should also use the game to try and help the human rights of people outside, particularly football participants all around the world and players all around the world. This is actually what it says, the policy. And then he goes and does things like that, which just directly contravene it. Infantino, it's clear, he's just one of the, if he was a politician, he would be trying to be his own Trump, in the sense that some people in sport are committed to the sport, others are committed to power. And it looks to me like what Infantino is the latter, in the sense that I can get through football. He may or may not love it, I don't know, but what he's realised is through football, I can get to a position of eminence and power. And when he's there, he wants to act like Trump. To me, he's the same person. He's just in different fora. And so, he buried the ethical committee straight away. He's changed the rules of that. He wants to remain forever. He's already been trying to do the similar type of stuff that Trump's trying to do in the US. So I see them as almost identical characters.
Yep.
Can I ask about being a former sports professional with a huge portfolio of work in, social activism, political activism, Hakeem Al-Arabi and the Bahraini footballer. You stand up for asylum seekers. You stand up for Indigenous people, women, Gazan children. Firstly, why don't you stick to sport? No, sorry, that's just I've got intrusive thoughts in my head. I mean, you say what you say. Just saying about Infantino and Trump. I mean, we live in a era right now where, speaking up on political or humanitarian matters, there's empirical evidence that can bring. And doing so accurately and truthfully too, there's still empirical evidence that can bring risk to your livelihood or one's livelihood. I mean, a colleague of ours, Peter Lawler, was retweeting and lost his gig at SEM because as it was said, people felt unsafe. What's your? You clearly don't give a shit about that.
That's true.
And you push through that. Have you had risks to your livelihood, or do you believe it's cost you opportunities you otherwise would have had? What's your? How do you approach that? I suppose for people who do consider doing these things.
It's a good question. I saw what happened to Peter and to many other people across the country. Let's just deal with two issues. Firstly, there's human rights advocacy, and then there's political advocacy. And what I do is human rights advocacy. It crosses over into the political sphere, because we're talking about policy or the lack of policy or the lack of implementation of policy or international law or human rights. But I don't see it as political. To me, political advocacy is, I'm advocating for Labor, or I'm advocating for Liberal, or I'm advocating for Greens, or I'm making political choices. I don't make political choices. What I do is I say, here's where the laws are, here's where people's basic rights are, and here's what this particular government is not doing. So I advocate for a policy or against policy of any government at any particular time. So I might agree with what Albanese's done on some elements and disagree on others, the same as I did with Morrison or anyone else. So I think it's an important distinction, because what happens in sport is, as soon as someone says, well, look, here's what the basic human rights are, and sport should be doing this stuff, what sport does is say, now you're being political. Okay. Whereas,
but it's just weaponized, right? I mean, everything is inherently political. Why is it a dirty word? I mean, we're all just out there fighting for ideas. Call it what you like. Is it because Aussies are like, once the word political comes into play, I don't want a piece of that.
I think sport does it even globally. Infantino does this as well. Global sports do. I think sport all around the world. It is true with Australia. We don't like to see our athletes have too much of a view. And again,
or if they don't represent our views.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Australia's in a lot of trouble at the moment, because this is what's happening. It's like, I love that this athlete or this high-profile person spoke about this in Iran, and I just think that's wonderful. But this person over here said something about Palestine, and so therefore I hate this person, and you should shut up and you should say something.
Yeah.
And then
Which is a political act, in and of itself, right?
Right. Whereas where I sit, I believe that I just sit in the middle, and I say, okay, these guys over here have these particular rights, let's grant it to them. These people over here have these particular rights, let's grant it to them. And and that's where I see Australia anyway. It's how I believe Australia should be as a country. I think it is actually, in my understanding of our collective nature. We talk about fairness, we talk about all these things. So it's like, I just don't care what it is. What I'll say is, okay, this religion's doing the wrong thing in here, you're violating these rights, this religion's doing the wrong thing here, you're violating these rights. To me, it's all the same. I really don't care. So, but there is a huge cost. It's true what you say. A lot of athletes and high-profile athletes, professionals, get in touch often and ask, how can I do it safely? How can I, I'm interested in this issue. And so I speak to a lot of them, not necessarily publicly, but just very often kind of helping them. And the first thing I do is have to acknowledge to them that there are risks. But I think that some of us have to be capable and willing to push through those risks to get to the next level where we can create a space where more athletes can do so without taking the risk that we're doing. There is a lot of cost. There's a huge amount of cost.
How do those costs manifest for you? I'm not asking you to speak, with deep specificity about it. But what does that look like?
Well, there's
for people?
physical costs, there's family costs, so security costs. So we've had quite a number of threats of all sorts of variations in over a period of time. But the last couple of years have been particularly bad. And secondly, there's financial costs, definitely. So what tends to happen is people in Australia, a bit because of our culture, and not all countries are like this, but particularly when it comes to, for instance, Palestine, people will say, well, look, that may or may not be right, but if anyone says that they're uncomfortable with these basic human rights, then we, rather than Craig come and do something, we'll have someone else who doesn't say anything, right? We don't want to be in an environment where many people in Australia want to avoid, facts.
Discomfort or something. Like why do we privilege people's comfort over like the rights of?
Yeah. That's right, and so that has an impact on us. So, but we know that is the reality. I've been in this space for a long time, probably 15 years, 20 years, just kind of building up. And what happens is when you're in my position and you actually believe in human rights, which I've obviously studied as well, and you can't pick and choose the issue. Okay, or you shouldn't pick and choose the issue. So therefore, if I feel strongly about the rights of these people here, then I should also do for these people. That doesn't mean that everyone has to speak about all the issues. We see this a lot as well, this whataboutism. It's like, okay, well, you said something about here, but if you don't speak about this, then you're not authentic on this one. So I'm here to tell everyone.
With that, by the way.
Yeah,
Get every single issue right, otherwise everything is invalid.
Exactly. So, and that's been a big part of the kind of pushback in the last couple of years. So my message to everyone is that's utter rubbish. If you feel strongly about one issue and you can help someone who's vulnerable or disadvantaged, do it. And you don't have to speak about anything else. Okay, you're doing a good job. The idea that you're only authentic if you speak about, something else over here or what they feel is just utter garbage. In my kind of field, however, I speak about all of them. I speak about the Rohingya, I speak about what's happening in Sudan, and always have.
So what's the comeback then when you literally are... You can cover the whataboutery question?
Yeah, I don't think there is one, and I don't think it's really needed. I think what it becomes is what you're talking about. Well, we need to exclude voices from the public domain to the maximum amount that we can because we don't want to have this conversation. And so, that just puts pressure on people who are just really, really consistent. So that's the nature of Australia and really the world at the moment. There's a lot of censorship of just basic human rights advocacy, and I think we have to continue to push through that. But again, I knew it was going to happen. So typically, like with Hakeem, I'll sit my wife down and say, "Listen, this is what's happening here. This is what we do. This is the reality and the facts of the matter, and we need to be speaking about this. And this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. Yeah, because that there is a big impact on family. There's security impact. There's a financial impact always." But finally, I have to speak because I am in a fortunate position. I was a professional player. I have made a career and a livelihood from broadcasting, and I am in a position where if that does affect my, financial well-being or my income, it doesn't affect me in a way that will affect the vast majority of people, and therefore that gives me a greater responsibility. I have to be there doing it. Okay, because I acknowledge that many people are in a position that if they do speak up just for the basic rights of people, and they lose their job, they're in serious, serious trouble. Okay, so it's those of us who have the privilege of being able to say, well, look, if I was out of all of this tomorrow, it wouldn't really affect us. I would just go up and go surfing, and that's the way I look at it. Just be objective, be consistent, try and help everyone along the appropriate lines, and ultimately, whatever the impact is, I'm more than happy to deal with it.
Just to finish on the most serious question of all, Foz, have you played football with Max Rushton? Did you play a game together?
I don't think we did. I can't remember playing with Maxie. No, when he was there, we didn't have any stand tournaments. I can't remember. No.
How was he talking about his football?
It wasn't memorable if I did. Actually, no, I did play once. Yeah, we went up to North Sydney. There's the North Sydney team. It's a very well known over 35s team. Yeah. Really successful, and we went and trained with them a couple of days. Yeah.
For content or just for fun? Like,
we're just playing for fun. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
in pre-season. I was still playing over 35s
what's it
until
like
last
being
year.
the Socceroos captain rocking up to over
Yeah.
35s? Boys can have a run. Or is it?
And Max Rushton.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Maxi.
And Craig Foster.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you get kicked a lot, but you learn to keep yourself out of it. But Maxi actually, he was quite reasonable. But I think after about, I was in behind in midfield to him as a number 9 and trying to get him to, come to the ball, Maxi, what are you doing, this and that. And then,
Talking like he's a child.
And then
Come on,
like,
Maxi, you got it.
He's like, mate, I'm getting tired. And I'm pretty sure after like 40 minutes he did his hammy and wandered off. That was the end of it.
Poor Max.
Yeah.
That would have been a great combination, Foster and Rushton at the top. That's exciting.
Yeah, well, with Maxi,
He spoke
it's always
very
a funny
glowingly
one.
of you.
Huh?
Yeah.
He was like, it's
He does.
amazing. And then you started by going, I don't remember playing with him.
Yeah. Who's
Perfect.
Max Rushton?
Yeah, lovely guy. So, and is a friend of yours, huh?
Yeah.
Great
Well,
bloke.
he might
Lovely guy.
pretend not to know us.
Yeah.
So that's 1-0 Australia there. So all we have to do is sort out the Republic because England will always be our fathers, until we sort the Republic out, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And you've told us before we jumped on that you went to school with Gilly, with Adam Gilchrist.
Yeah, the Gillies, the 3 brothers. So Gilly was a few years younger than me, so I didn't know Adam that well. But I played football and cricket with both his elder brothers.
Okay.
Dean is the eldest one, same age as my elder brother, and then Glenn is 1 year below me. So we would play for the school football team, which went well. We made the state championship, actually, out of little tiny Lismore.
Bloody hell. That's amazing.
Ganellivar School. We played Steve Waugh's school down here beat us. Actually.
Were the Wall brothers playing?
Were they playing?
Yeah.
Oh,
my
sorry.
God, what?
Yeah.
Because we hear regularly about how adept they were at football. I mean, I think Mark Wall has claimed that he was, at his age, a better player than Robbie Slater.
Oh. Well, don't tell
June
the
sat in that
Bulldog
chair.
that. Don't tell the Bulldog that. But I don't remember Steve playing so
see,
much.
this is what you want to speak up on. He'll have a crack at Trump, but not Junior.
No, I can't remember. I think Steve was the captain, but anyway, they beat us. But yeah, that was the 2 elder brothers. They were good players. Dean, actually, the eldest, was a very good cricket player. Played, I think, for Gordon here.
That's right.
He goes club.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story about when they first turned up. They came to Kadina High in Ganellibar in Lismore, right? And we had, it was a Risbon New School in 84, I think. So this would have been like, I think I left in like 86 or something. So around that time, so the facilities were still quite new, and we had the nets that they built at the school, which was cool. And I think from memory, they were just concrete pitches. Anyway, we come for the pre-season school team, and the school had its own kit.
Yep.
And you can imagine, there's a few years old now, so the bats are totally stuffed. The balls are crap, and the pads. You can't find 2 pads.
Buckles,
like all left
buckles.
pads,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Anyway, so we bring the kit out, and this is the senior school team, and we go. We knew everyone, right? It's like everyone just turn up. Let's go. Okay, we know basically who's in the team. Anyway, someone's going to go and have a bat with 1 pad on. Anyway, these 2 guys turn up. I don't think Adam turned up, but Glenn and Dean turned up. And they both had these kit bags. And these kit bags were like, they were this long. It was like a surfboard bag, right? And because all of the country kids, we were going, what the hell's going on here? Anyway, so Dean came, and then we said, okay, buddy, there was a teacher there. Listen, you can go into bat next. So he opened his kit, and we were all like, what the hell is going on here? And he started to put his stuff on, and he put a protector here.
The thigh pad.
Thigh pad.
Yeah.
He put a protector here. He pulled out, I think from memory, pulled out the 1-piece like SP. Yeah, which
Classics.
my elder brother had a pair on. I was like so jealous of, they were the thing in the day, I think it was Gower used to have them.
Oh, yeah.
And so anyway, he pulled that out, and then he pulled out the most amazing pads, and then he pulled out like a 4-scoop, grey Nick, right? And anyway, and then in the end, we were all kind of like, giggling a bit, and then in the end, he pulled the helmet out. He pulled a helmet, and we had a concrete pitch with like 3-year-old, sixes, right? They had absolutely no red left on them, and no one could bowl fast anyway. And anyway, but fair play to him. He was serious, and it was great. So he went in, and we bowled a couple, and he was just like. Beautiful technique, right? He went, oh, geez, this is good. Glenn went in. He was a good athlete, probably a little bit more naturally talented. It went in the same, a bit more aggressive with his strokes. And I'll never forget that day because, they turned up, their father had trained them well. They were obviously, very serious about the game, which we were in football. I wasn't particularly in cricket, but when it came to football, I was the same. My boots were ready to go and it was good. And Dean, I think both of them actually played for the CHS New South Wales football team with my older brother as well as cricket.
Yep.
So, good. Just typical country.
Sporting families. Yeah.
Just like any sport, didn't matter. Just picked it up.
Like any memories at all of playing against Tugger in that game, like just from a chat perspective, is he saying anything? Have you got anything for us there?
What are you suggesting? That
I just want to hear what Steve was saying at school age.
Yeah. Was he wearing a baggy green?
Yeah, right. What did he do at the toss? Did he sort of...
What you think, the mental disintegration?
Pretty much.
I'd like to see some video of it. I've never seen.
Unbelievable.
I don't look back a lot, but Plus, I was pissed that we didn't win. It was a little tiny school in Gunnellabar, and we just so happened that we had two of us brothers. We had the two Gilchrists, and then we had some good footballers. We had a kid up there, David Sharp. You guys ever been to Austinville? Anyone been to Austinville?
No.
Austinville's just outside Lismore on the way to Ballina.
Okay.
So in that beautiful hinterland area. And this kid came out of Austinville, was in our school, and ended up playing for the under-20 Australian youth team in Moscow. Might have been 85 or something like this. Like, just unbelievable. Like, just incredible effort. So we just had this group of players at the school, and our coach was a Joy Division loving English teacher.
Yes.
Right? A gay man, beautiful man, who everyone loved. He knew absolutely in fact, he was proud that he knew zero about football. So our training was
English.
And so what happened is our school football shirt was the Joy Division logo with Cadena football on it or something like that. So it was just like, it was very country, very Lismore. We're up there with Nimbin and all that stuff. So we turned up at this school, with all the guys with long hair, in the Joy Division semi-shirt.
Yeah.
With an English teacher quoting, classics.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we almost took out the title. It was cool.
Until you ran into the War brothers.
Yeah.
From Panania.
Tugger and June,
the Gilchrist versus the Wars state championship with future Socceroo captain Craig Foster. That's a watch. It's something to...
That's amazing from your school. Like, youth player, former Socceroo, a legendary Hall of Fame cricketer as well. I mean, that's in the same couple of years at school.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Well, it always used to... they come from Dunilliquin, of course.
Yeah.
Probably know the story of the Gillies. And I think Stan was a principal, right?
Yeah, that's
or
right.
At least
yeah,
a teacher.
Yeah.
Right.
So they had just lobbed into school, lobbed into town from somewhere else. I think they might have been in Dubbo or something. So they moved around because he was a principal. So he came to be a principal there. And all of a sudden, it must have been year 8, year 9, I was in at school, and all of a sudden they've just lobbed up in school. Lovely guys, great friends of ours, and just good athletes. But that used to be the case. I think it's a bit of a worry now, but it used to be Wagga, all the rugby league guys, and so there's the old studies.
Of talent. Yeah.
Yeah, the old studies on national teams and Olympians, people who represented Australia, that was heavily skewed towards country and regional areas.
Yeah.
I think Australia's safe when the country's delivering sports stars, to be
Yeah,
honest.
still?
Yeah.
Well, it's when you get into private school scholarships, academies, it's all a bit too gentrified,
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, rough around the edges, country lads, intimidating foreigners. I mean, that's that's my own. That's my proclivity. I only speak for myself. You know.
Well, it used to be a thing, but I'm not sure because I think a lot of the competitions and the academies and so on are now metropolitan based.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of the youth moving out of regional areas. I'm not sure whether it's still the case, but it was because ease of access. So everyone played every sport.
Yes.
Which does correlate to international competence. It was also everyone used to just be able to travel, so they'd ride their bikes, and you could get access was possible as well. The parents didn't need to travel 3 hours to get you to football training. And also because in the country, lack of numbers of participants, but also talent is recognised, everyone would play up quickly.
Yeah.
So Gilly was playing against my old man. My father was an opening batsman with his elder brother, George, for years. They won 13 straight titles up there in cricket.
Wow.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
unbelievable. And he was a fantastic opening batsman. And they played the first time that young Gilly, Adam, came up into first grade, they were playing against them. Yeah, so they saw him at, I think, 15.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot in the country.
Did they rate him or was he this?
My old man said he was okay, but...
It's like you and Matt Rushton.
No, he said, I'm just not sure on the on-drive. You know?
Yeah. And look at him now. Yeah, he's a terrible bloke, Adam, and his kids.
Shocking.
Shocking bloke. Foz, you've given us more time than we agreed on. Thank you so much. Just traversing so many areas. So much love for football in Australia between the both of us, mate. But
great.
so thanks so much for your
Glad to
time.
hear it. No, pleasure to be with you, boys.
Big thanks to Foz for that. Very, very cool thing for us to do. And a lot of stories off air about the Gilchrist family, which I just was like, Fozzie, on air, please. Nothing debauched or anything, but just that's a crossover. Foster and Adam Gilchrist. Boys, actually now Huey, and welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
This one's entitled "A Note on the Winter Olympics."
Okay.
Just to finish off. Did we read one on Winter Olympics last week, Chuck? Do you recall? I don't think so. It was about per capita stuff. I don't think I read this. So, Dear Peasant, he goes, boys, actually, it's from Anon. While listening to your recent and entirely humble reflections on the Winter Olympics, noting with some pride that Australia had managed to finish above famously snowy countries such as Finland in the medal table, I couldn't help but notice a small omission in the analysis. You may recall that during the Morning After Paris series, there was extensive discussion of the per capita medal table, presented at the time as the only truly fair way to compare Olympic performance between nations of very different sizes. Applying that same framework to the Winter Olympics rather complicates the narrative slightly, as Finland tends to do rather well when the medals are adjusted for population. While 27.5 million Australians may indeed appear ahead in the raw medal count on occasion, the Finns remain somewhat formidable when one controls for the fact that there are only about 5.5 million of them. There is also a further contextual factor that may be relevant to future Winter Olympic competitiveness. As climate science repeatedly demonstrates, global warming has a disproportionate effect at higher latitudes, with northern regions warming significantly faster than the global average. The practical implication here is that countries such as Finland are losing reliable snow cover more quickly than many other parts of the world and losing the competitive advantage that they may have previously had. So while it may be tempting to interpret recent medal tables as evidence of Australian winter sporting supremacy, it is at least possible that we are instead observing the early consequences of global warming on rapidly changing snow conditions in the Nordics. Just something to bear in mind for the next cold games. Regards, Anon.
Anon.
Yeah.
Well, to that I'd say, per capita, what's the population of Jindabyne compared to Finland? The snow towns. Not Snowtown, but the towns around snow. Then our medal tally's looking pretty fucking good again.
Yeah, and
what?
I'd refer a lot of people to Phil Gould's most recent tweets as well. In relation to the veracity of climate change altogether. Because that as some might say, reasonable minds may differ on the existence of man-made global warming.
Yeah, it's exhilarating. I've sort of seen a bit of Gus's work. I think he's a bit like the Hawthorn coach. He's sort of gone deep with Claude.
Yeah. I think his most recent. I think there's about a 600 to 700 word piece on there on Twitter, which commence. What's that? Oh, sorry. That commences with an acknowledgement that he is a heavy user of AI.
Yes.
As a research tool. Before there is an entire article that has enough hyphens and M dashes in there to suggest that it too is AI.
Yes. Yeah.
But anyway, that's just a prompt. He's using it as a tool, and two is.
Yeah. I mean, he's a busy guy.
Okay, this is from Lewis, Rugby League on Channel 7. Hi, boys. Great the circus is back. Just want to give further context to the upcoming Rugby League pundit show Agenda Setters on Channel 7. Channel 7 have the rights for this year's Rugby League World Cup. Okay. Goes on cycling. So this is a multi-sport, boys, actually. On cycling, I want to point out there are a few races on before the tour which will provide context to how riders' teams are shaping up this year. The Paris-Nice is on next week. It will be a great test for recent transfer Juan Ayuso, who has GC aspirations, against two-time tour winner Jonas Vingegaard. Sweet. On what professions are better than others, I'll say that surveyors are better than engineers, who are better than architects. Everyone who works in construction knows this. In terms of architects being better than builders, I'd say Mr. Unemployed has no idea, as these two professions are on different tech trees and are hardly comparable. Please reach out if you have any queries. Kind regards.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot going on there. All I was thinking about was the surveyors. What was he talking about at the top? The
league.
cycling.
Seven has the league World Cup.
Oh, that's right.
And
yes.
cycling, there just seemed to be a preview of the cycling.
Yeah, what was that? GC aspirations. We all got GC aspirations, man. Yeah. Love to get down to the fucking gold.
Exactly. This is I have for journalistic integrity, I have to read this. It's called "How Did You Get This Wrong Again?" in capitals.
Oh, no.
Boys, I enjoyed the correction from the British rugby journalist with his informative, albeit long-winded explanation of the rugby calendar in the Northern Hemisphere and his relationship to it. That being said, I was left absolutely dumbfounded when Pez, on reading aloud that this guy sits through the pissing rain of January in order to ignore his family in February in favour of the Six Nations, somehow concluded that the rugby starts in January. This was echoed by Higgos with no interjection from Charlie. How hard is it to absorb the information you're reading? I can only assume this was TalkSport-style rage bait designed to force short-tempered pedants like me into writing strongly worded emails. I've obviously obliged. I don't even fucking like rugby, but this made my blood boil. Everyone in the UK knows the Six Nations starts in February, the 5th this year, because that's when the pubs start to fill with privately educated men wearing ill-fitting clothes, trying to dip body parts in each other's pints. Please do better. Yours, a rugby-hating pedant. The suggestion. Okay, so firstly, absolutely correct. The comment was clear that it started in February, and I just said January. But the suggestion here is that this is like rage bait, which is a compliment. Like never mistake for malice what could be explained by incompetence.
Yes.
Just not paying attention and just went with what was in my head. Rage bait, not for me. Unless it's amusing.
Works,
particularly with AFL. But this is Joe just entitled Boys Actually. Entitled Boys Actually. Hey Pez, fake subject line, apologies. Could you please get Brett Deledio on? He played state cricket, he's hilarious, and he's mates with Corbyn. Kind regards, Joe.
Wow.
It's just that's kind of footy. Like, that's just someone who loves their footy.
Yeah.
Aussie rules, that is. Just I'm going to trick you into reading this. I'm going to call it Boys Actually. So I'm going to trick you into thinking I've got a correction.
Yeah.
I just want to see Brett on the show because he's hilarious and Corbyn knows him.
Yeah. Is that Brett doing that? Or no. Knowing Corbyn's good, though.
That's Joe. Yeah. I just love that. I love the first name of Corbyn as well. Like,
sort of our Madonna. No need, but Corbyn's enough.
Corby, friend of the show. Okay, the next one's called Solicitors versus Wig Boys. With absolute respect to Pez's dad, we all know solicitors do the hard yards and the barristers get the glory. From a former lock and current employment lawyer, kind regards, Mr. Snrub and Tug.
Did he just say from a former lock, as in just that's the position he played at rugby union? Is that what he's going for?
Yeah, look, I'm old school enough, or I'd take that as a 13, in league, but I know that lock is the official term for a second rower.
He's probably going to be talking
like a ball-playing 13 rugby league solicitor.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Bit of a drive-by on Nico's dad.
Pez's dad. But that's all right. I just saw a reference to my dad once on Reddit with a discussion of like barristers, which was like it was like I've never told my dad this, nor would he give a fuck, but it's like, Dad, like someone's sledging you on Reddit. Like for
it's the brave new world. Barristers never planned for that. QC is having to deal with upvotes.
I can't see.
It's uncouth.
I can't see solicitors versus barristers taking off on this show, really. Now, that's obviously a red rag to a bull, but I just don't see a lot of people going like, oh, I've got some strident views on that.
When you said that, it sort of made me think of like when you see those Army versus Navy, American football games, and they play the rugby league like cops versus fires.
Well, I mean,
should start doing.
This is what we're talking about. I mean,
union sevens.
Let's. I don't really see solicitors versus barristers taking off because I don't know if like a lot of people are going to have really like strident views on, which of them have done more work or whatever. Like in day-to-day life. Whereas like again, Sparkies, builders, plumbers, but like cops and fireys. Let's hear you. Army, Navy. I've seen evidence of that at least on Cricket Patreon as well. People really get into that.
I can imagine.
Intelligence services. I won't name any, but if you know anything, let us know because we know like ASIS and ASIO. Like ASIO are just tapping phones, but ASIS are doing the bond stuff.
Oh
yeah. So anyway, let us know. Kairos versus Physios by Matt.
Oh, okay.
From a good little pay piggy. Boys, actually, what you need to understand about the difference between physios and chiros is one evolved from thinking they could fix weakness through a quick crack and, quote, science just hasn't caught up with them. One evolved through figuring out that rubbing and tugging feels good. Which would you prefer? Anonymous little pay pig. So I guess that's explaining professions in, like glib terms. Yeah. Pretty obvious, I would have thought. Final one for this week, Huey, and this will wrap up the circus for this week as well. A long show is from Liam, and it's simply entitled Plumbers. And it says, my dad is a plumber and he is a huge racist. That's all we got time for on the circus this week. Thanks for joining in, Huey. Thank you for co-hosting this week on Higgos' chair, out of the cup chair, a chair that's been occupied by other illustrious co-hosts such as Alex Malcolm on The Grey Cricketer and Ryan Pappenhausen of the Melbourne Storm.
Wow,
and R360.
Oh, yeah. Poor Pappy. Absolute pleasure, mate. Thank you so much for having me. Exciting to be in the chair.
Where can people catch you, Huey?
Well, Comedy Festival is coming up. As you were saying, I'll be at my venue, Comedy at the Coopers Inn. We'll have like 200 shows there. Check us out on social media. Come see a show. I'll be there every day doing something. And I've just announced, I'm just about to announce I'm doing a one-off Big Huey's footy show at nearly midnight on one of the Saturdays, the 11th of April, I believe. But yeah, just check it on my Instagram. It's a lot of fun. Big comedians doing fucked guests, characters, doing basically satire of the old footy shows. So, yeah, pretty hard to be as crook as those, so we can really let loose.
It is actually extremely crook.
Yeah.
What I like about it is that, like, I don't know if you had this, but growing up, I feel like every time you had the chance to do an item in assembly or something, everyone just, like, if you like sport, you just want to recreate the footy show. Yeah. I just like it was like the greatest thing to be, on the footy show. But you're doing it.
Yeah, well, we're trying to follow in the footsteps of giants.
Exactly.
And I would just say very specifically, more the NRL footy show, not the NRL footy show was like chaotic, neutral or whatever. But the Sam Newman, they sort of had that the chaotic evil.
Yes. I wouldn't like...
It was blackface with a smile with Fatty Vorton. You know?
Yeah, when they accosted English second language people on the street or people with intellectual disabilities, it was with it was a charm to it.
There was a charm to it. Yeah. Mahatma coat, more joie de vie than whenever Newman did his stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't rule out like I'll put a line through like having
I'd never put a line through
disappointed Aussie rules people like who like Aussie rules being disappointed in football content. It's a big market.
Yes, absolutely.
And getting it wrong and
yeah. So it's a lot of fun. So come down to that if you can.
Well. If you support the circus and TGC, you support Huey. So get around that. And that footy show is really crook. I've seen it before. It's extremely worth it. I highly recommend it. You need to see it at least once. All right, we'll catch you on the internet next time or whatever Higo says. Cheers.